Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been, I can say, a few weeks after the last video. Now, there's a couple of guys who actually I've been reading comments. Yeah, so there's someone who ranted about me hiding stuff and whatnot in the lines of last time we were teaching liquidity engineering, and they felt like stuff were hidden. Now, I understand that you feel that way, but number one, uh, whatever it is that I'm currently teaching, I do believe that a good number of guys, you can find that information online. The only thing that I'm doing at the moment is just adding my personal expertise on it, right? So the reason why I gave that video and after I recorded and shared it with you guys, the reason why actually I did that and gave you time is I wanted you to go out there and practice whatever it is that you're practicing. Yes, there's some punk who will see my YouTube channel 7 years later, then will go through all of it at a go, but that's not my intention. You need to give it time, and you also need to give yourself time in order for you to be able to master that craft, right? So if you are just wanting to capture this information and not practice it, I promise you that you're not doing yourself any service. That being said and done, welcome, welcome back. Now, on this one, I'll be heavily talking about. Let's start with the trend line, right? Trend line is more so of a confirmation. What do I mean by confirmation? What I mean by confirmation is one thing, yeah. It is confirming something that you already marked with your key level, right? That's the whole purpose of the trend line. Okay, so anytime that you are using or you are in lines with the trend line, just remember this one is supposed uh to be more of a last resort or a confirmation for whatever it is that I'm currently on. Now, what do I mean by that? Number one, let's say I have a skill level that I've marked here. Okay, yeah, let's use this one. I told you, a key level is a V. Okay, that's an a V, or a gap. Gap is technically something like it's going down, it goes up a bit, then this is a gap. Gap two candles same direction. If you have forgotten, or if you need a recap, you need to go mark like 20 to 100 of this, 20 different pairs or the same pair, different time frames, mark 20. Yeah, I would have told you to send it to me, but that will be a whole lot of work that I am currently not looking to do. Yeah, anyways, yeah, uh now that you have marked this key level, you can take your trend line. If a trend, you can take a trend line or you can take this. Okay, this is called what is it called? I've forgotten the name for this. Trend tools, it's called a trend tool. You can use the trend tool or a trend line. A trend line, you can draw it by yourself. My trend tool, I ended up, what's this thing called? I ended up nini modifying my trend tool. Why am I saying I modified it? Simply because I removed it. It was supposed to go all the way from here to the front and to the back. That's how my trend tool was supposed to be, from the back to the front. But for me, um, when I was putting it, whichever way you would like to call it, I ended up coming here. No, not there. Settings. When you come to settings, you can either extend to the left and extend to the right. It can be going like that, or you can technically uh, extend to the right alone. So me personally, I prefer extending it to the right by itself. Now, technically, I marked this and I marked this, right? After I did that marking, you can see I marked the body closure and the body closure. Then price went, right? This is a way that you personally can determine where I am expecting price to sell next, or where I'm going to be getting reversals. So there are different types of trend lines. There is a continuation trend line. So a continuation trend line. There is a reversal trend line, right? And also continuational reversal. Yeah, those are the types of trend line that I tend to use. Continuation, reversal. Yeah, and there are different forms of continuational trend lines, different forms of reversal trend lines. Sawa. There are different forms. What do I mean when I say there are different forms? This is technically what I mean. Now, you can have one that's like this, but price ends up doing this. Price is moving high, 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 low, high, 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 low. It comes, it does that, then it breaks, then it goes like that. So number one, that specific trend line, price came, tap, tap, tap. It tapped here with a wick, so it reversed. After it reversed, it went and broke that trend line again, and after breaking that trend line, price comes and respects it, then flies away. So this happens. Yeah. For continuation, there's also something that, okay, this is the continuation. Yeah. For reversals, same. It can happen over and over and over again. It's something that's currently happening and always will be happening. It was happening since way before I started trading with my 9 to 10 years experience, going to 10 years experience. Anyways, yeah, that is number one. Now, let's say I have this as my key level, right? If I have that as my key level and I am targeting buys on this level, right? If I'm targeting buys on, okay, I shouldn't use Pepperstone. Let's use, let's go to, let me go to the pair that everyone keeps screaming about. Let's go to gold. And which broker are we going to use? We're going to use Saxo as the broker. Most of the time people use Saxo or FXCM simply because it's what's the word, it tends to go in line with it goes in line with what we have on our MetaTrader. So anyways, like you guys, you can see over here we have a perfectly bullish trend. Wait, no, yeah, we have a perfectly bullish trend that's over here. No, this is the one. Actually, it was supposed to be somewhere here. Yeah, we have a perfectly bullish trend that was happening. Mm, that was happening here. Now, when this bullish trend was happening, am I at the 4 hour? It's supposed to be the 1 hour, the 4 hour. Let me confirm. It was happening. Yeah, it was the 1 hour. Oopsie. It was 1 hour. Now, now we have a clean bullish trend, right? We have a clean bullish trend. Price is pumping to the upside, to the upside, to the upside. And if you check, price broke to the structure over here, broke structure to the upside, clean. After price breaking structure to the upside, you come over here and you see I have a key level that's lying over here. I have a clean level that's lying over here. So now you can technically say I have this key level or I have this key level. It's up to you to decide which key level you're going to pick. Okay, it's up to you. But number one, you've confirmed the trend that is bullish. Yeah, trend is bullish. Price was broken in structure to the upside. It's broken. You want to see the pullback, then you can actually get yourself an entry. Now, the trend line is just that your specific key level is supposed to hold price over here at around that level. Yeah, it can decide to hold price at around that level. Now, number one, I never told you this, and if someone didn't get this deep into the video, they might end up losing because I never said this while starting. Whatever it is that I'm teaching you is supposed to help you trade, even if you do not, and I repeat, even if you do not have a computer. Sawa sawa. Even if you don't have a computer, this is supposed to help you trade. Why am I saying this? It's very easy to mark your height, and after you've marked your key levels, you end up. Why am I fidgeting with the charts? And if you've been able to mark your key levels, your price tends to obey that key level, right? And if you're marking it at a higher time frame, you can end up just getting the trade from there. You get a clean position. After if you've gotten a clean trade in the position, then price will end up flying, right? Now, that is the number one thing that you guys need to know and need to understand. After you've gotten in your key levels, it doesn't matter. You can it doesn't have to be this key level that you've marked here, the gap. It can be any key level. The purpose of your what's this called, your trend line, it's supposed to help you confirm whichever trade that you want to be taking. Now, I have drawn a lot in my charts. So let me just see. There's a trend that we recently took as a community. These guys you just reminded me I need to record a video for the community. Now let's go to the 4 hour. I will suggest, if you're looking for key levels, you stick from monthly, weekly, daily. Monthly, weekly, daily. Look for your key levels from there that will end up holding price, right? In line to match that, your life will be much easier. Yeah. Now, check this out. I have this key level, right? Price was very bearish. Very, very bearish. You can see. Price was very, very bearish. Okay. Now, on this one, you guys can see that, okay, the way you mark your key level is like I showed you in the line chart that I kept on drawing. Don't go for the wicks, just stick to the body closure. The way we mark our key levels, your trend line should be exactly where your key level is for you to be as accurate as possible. Yeah. Now, for this one specifically, you can see price broke that trend line. After it broke that trend line, it came and tapped that trend line. Press shift on my keyboard. It came and broke that trend line, tapped it, then shot to the upside. You can see price shot to the upside. So if you're using your, let me remove the magnet. If you're using your trend line well, you will be so accurate and very precise, right? And this specific price touch, when price tapped here, you can check. Let me not even put it. Let me check. How many key levels do you have? I have this one key level that's over here. I also have the other key level that's coinciding here. And I have these other key levels that are lying down here. Okay. Now, if you check what happened to the trend line, this is one key level. This one is in line with this gap. You guys can see that key level is in line with that gap, and price went exactly to that. And there is also another key level that's completely down here. So we have multiple key levels around that zone. Now, when it aligns with the trend line, you can pick the one that is closest to the trend line. The key levels that are closest. You could have decided to get it from this candlestick, enter your buy on this candlestick or that candlestick. Now, you might be Dick. Look, this is a daily time frame, and if I enter a trade from here, it's a drawdown that I am not able to handle. Fine, go to the 4 hour time frame. After you've gotten to the 4 hour time frame, go exactly where you have that. Now that I am here, I have this key level, I have this key level. When you look well, this key level that we took on that daily time frame, you can see there is a lot. Now we want to refine that key level. This key level, as you guys can see, price had already tapped into this key level and it broke it. You can see this one ended up not holding price up until price broke structure to the upside like twice. This is where it held price very well, right? Personally, I don't tend to focus on fresh and unfresh levels, but at the end of the day, there are some traders who heavily look at that. Now, for here, the most suitable, this one is what ended up holding. The daily key level was over here, suggesting this is where the day ended, right? So the day ended on this candlestick over here, to be very precise, right? Now, look at what price did. Price came, it went, broke it a couple of times. It came, tapped it. You could have entered here, or you could have even gone down to 1 hour to refine it some more. Price tapped it, it broke structure to the upside. I believe if you go to you'll get to understand why it broke structure then came back when we are talking about storyline. Yeah, we'll get to there. Don't worry about that, because if you think I'm hiding, it's just a slow progression where you get to understand things as you move along. Now, price tapped this daily key level, then it went ahead and closed to the upside, right? Now, for you to be able to get an entry, maybe you didn't want to enter an aggressive trade here. You could have waited for price to come back on these levels. So how would you decide that specific level? You sure as hell wouldn't be thinking about, let me draw another key level here. You wouldn't be thinking about that. But after I've said it, now you can think, oh, price broke here. Maybe let me check a key level on the left side, right? So that is one criteria where you could be looking for longs from that key level. Yeah, your stop loss can be tighter, and you can swing the price, because we got our 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 price levels from a daily key frame time frame. Sorry. Now that is one way to look at this if you're going to buy. Now when you're looking for sales, that's another thing. How am I saying it's another thing? Number one, you have to be in lines with the trend. Sawa sawa. You have to be in lines with the trend. Now let me erase the 25 drones that I did. When this trend, as you guys can see, It's just doing higher highs, and it keeps rallying to the upside, right? It keeps rallying to the upside. It taps, goes down, taps, goes down, taps, goes down. This is actually how you use it as a reversal. This is how you use that as a reversal. Make sure it's at the body, not above, not beyond. Just make sure it is at the body. Sawa sawa. When you get it at the body, you'll tend to see price respecting it a lot, and you'll be getting like very many clean trades. But make sure when you're going to take a trade, there's something that's in line with whatever it is that you're trading, because you can technically be using the trend line wrongly. You see what I'm talking about? You can be using the trend line wrongly. Now, if I do this, I've marked the daily. So I would like to see price come back to this daily level so that I can sell it. But that daily level will need to coincide with a key level before I can think about selling it, right? So that's in the lines of how I personally would use the trend line. There's continuation trend lines, there's pullback trend lines. There are very many different forms of how a trend line can be used or is usually used. It happens a lot in the market. It's not just something that happens recently. Now, for this one to be more precise, yeah, you can see that you have so many trend lines. There was a breakout that happened over here, a clean breakout to the upside. Now you have this key level. This is one A level. Sorry, this is an A level. This is a gap. Where the hell is this? This is a gap. This gap coincides with this gap. This is a gap. It coincides with this gap. Price came. Maybe there's a broker that tapped. This one did not tap. But if you go to a lower time frame, you can you can see we had this is something that we call a confirmation candle. We'll talk about that in the future. As the moment, we need not talk about it. So we have just refined it from the daily key level to the 4 hour key level, and you can see price came, tapped that level, and it flew. Now the key level that we have marked is coinciding with the trend line. Like I usually tell you guys, the markets are fractal. So you don't expect to be having completely accurate prices, completely accurate trend line, not prices. Sawa sawa. So when you get that you're getting like accurate trend lines that technically match, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're drawing your trend lines, make sure you're precise in the body closure. That's how you actually get such kinds of trades, because this trend line aligns with the body closure and it makes your life so much easier. So that's all that I had to share with you guys for today. The remaining one is we start storyline, and storyline you can actually get to know when a story starts and when a story ends. So before I even start to talk to you about storylines, I'd like to show you something. You can see that we had this key level. Price came and tapped it, right? How do we know that the bullish storyline started, right? When price tapped this, it rejected the daily key level, right? This is the closure. This is where it. So price rejected that. When a daily rejects a daily, that's when a storyline starts. Okay, daily rejects daily, but there's more confluences that we look at before we decide that a daily storyline that has started. Now after the reduction that we have here, we get to look if we have a shift or get to have a breakout. This is what we call a confirmation on our key level being um, or the daily level being confirmed, or the daily storyline being confirmed. Now, when I talk we talked about, I don't think we talked about a shift. We technically talked about a breakout, right? No, I think we didn't talk about a breakout. Breakout is specifically with the storyline. Now, when we were talking about when we talk about shifts in the other method of trading, we end up looking for a wick to body. But on the Malaysian SNR, we don't care much about the wick. We care more on the body break, right? After it breaks, you'll tend to look for your levels in here, your key levels in here. Then you'll end up taking your trades, be it here or wherever. We'll look at that criteria in the next video. This is just a foresight. Yeah, you can either check for the key level, recent key levels, or previous key levels to be looking for your entries. And price, as sure as the sun will rise, it will tap your key level and it will fly. And with this, you will be very you will have a lot of precision whenever you're taking your specific said trades. It will make your life easier. You do not need to go to mad lower time frames to be getting your entries. Now, I've talked about trend lines. I've briefly touched on key levels. Now, if you to go and see the price, what price does, go and see how I can be using whatever it is. I've talked about key levels. After talking about key levels, I've talked about the shift. I've talked about the trend lines. Go practice with your trend line. See what it does. See if you can actually get where the trend line is tapping, tapping, tapping. Then you can see if I'm going to get another entry while the price keeps moving. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do I pick the quote unquote right trend line? Yeah, that can be the major question that's running through your head as we speak. Number one, for you to get a trend line, you need to pick a key level, be it on the weekly, daily, or monthly. Weekly, daily, or monthly. That's the first thing that you'll need to do. Weekly, daily, or monthly. Because if you don't pick such in a higher time frame, you will end up messing up. And the mess up happens a lot. Now, after you've picked on a the key level on a high time frame, let's say we picked this one. Then after you've picked it and you want to confirm with a trend line, you'll need to go to a time frame that's lower. Yeah, after you've picked that time frame that's lower, yeah, go ahead, pick levels that actually make sense, right? Draw them. Yeah, when you're done drawing them, you actually end up making your life easier. What the hell is not happening here? Let me read this. Okay, you end up making your life easier. So get to know the difference between the reversal, continuations. It works on everything: GU, GJ, UJ, Euro JPY, XAU, USD. It works on each and every one of them, but you have to like put in that effort. Now, I know I've talked about a lot, and you guys need time to go practice. I'd suggest that after you've marked your key levels, check out your trend lines. Yeah, after you've checked your trend lines, the next video will be about the storyline, how it begins, how we know a storyline is about to end, how we know a storyline is continuing. Yeah, it can be something that we do on a regular basis. Yeah, by then maybe for the examples to come, maybe I will pay for trading view, but I see no reason why I don't usually pay for my trading view. We will discuss that as we move along. Anyways, with that said and done, have a nice day. I hope you guys are enjoying your trading as we speak.